What's up, guys? Jamie here, and welcome to episode 7 of No Turning Back. All our links are in the description. So, before we get started with the video, tomorrow, as you know, is Undertaker's 25 years in WWE, and I'm making a video celebrating those 25 years. Raz is in it, and if you guys want to send in any last minute videos, edits, or signs, you can do that and send them to undertakervid 25 years at yahoo.com, and I'll just add it into the video because I've been editing it. And if you want to be a part of it, you still can, but I want to be able to have it ready for tonight so I can upload it in the morning or something. I'm not quite sure, but I will also be staying up until midnight to post about the 25 years and put it on all my social media, and I'll be tweeting and doing social media throughout all tomorrow to celebrate those 25 years. And before we start the video, would you like to say anything? And as always, I'm with my co-host.
What's up, everybody? Razman's Reality in the house. Man, episode 7, man. We've been flying through these.
Yeah, we are.
Doesn't feel like episode 7.
No.
Yeah, it's surreal to think that Survivor Series is Sunday, mostly because, like I mentioned last week, stupid NFL screwed me up, so I'm not going to be able to watch Survivor Series till Monday. So that's probably why I'm all thrown off.
And it just came up so quickly.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Survivor Series. I remember counting down, going, there's like 20 days left. Or, Survivor Series is in a couple of months, and it'll be Undertaker's 25 years. Because I do this every year. I go, last year I was like 7 days until 24 years. But I think this is more special because obviously November 22nd, when he debuted, was on a Sunday. And the 22nd actually falls this year on a Sunday. And not only that, but like 25 years is such a milestone. But I'm sure we could get off on a whole video about that. But
well, yeah, you made a whole video on it, and I know by the next No Turning Back, or maybe even we might even knowing Jamie, we might even come on here like Monday after I see the pay-per-view, or Tuesday. Like, she may not be able to wait till Saturday to talk.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not, but can you believe 25 years already? That is such a milestone. But I think we should save that for Monday and Saturday. And if anyone's sending in stuff for tomorrow to celebrate, but go ahead.
I just wish that my Bengals and my Bengals and game wasn't on, so I could actually be there with you live during the show. Because if there's any show that I want to hear your reactions to, it would be Survivor Series. And there's noise going on in Jamie's room right now. What's going on?
Holy crap, that scared me. I didn't even know what that was. But
is everything all right?
Yeah, I think it was my brother. I don't really know what that was. I think he was like hitting the wall or something. Sorry, we're live. And we can't edit this out. If you hear that, that's my brother in the background. But all of a sudden, I heard this loud bang really close to my door. And I just couldn't figure out what that was. I thought somebody was calling me and that I wasn't paying attention. So that's why I heard the noise. But apparently not. But go ahead, whatever you were saying.
I was just saying I wish that I could experience Sunday with you. Because if there's anything that I would want to be around you for, it's like a whole...
Oh, I'm filming my reaction to Survivor Series because it'll be his moment. So
you could get on here and make it easier on yourself.
That's true, I could, but I kind of want to edit stuff out. I don't want it to be like 5 million hours long. So if I'm sitting there, tweeting or something, I don't want people to just see that. I can edit parts out.
Right,
but anyway, we could go on for hours about that.
Yeah, we'll save Undertaker till the end. Basically, as we expected them to do, they did not really add anything to pay-per-view this week. So that's why we made our predictions last week, which we were dead on about what we said. We got both the semifinal matches that we expected for the pay-per-view. It's going to be Alberto Del Rio versus Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose, which is, talk about an amazing match. Those two together in a match, that's going to be awesome.
Yes. I also liked how Raw was actually pretty solid because going into Raw, I thought, there's not really anything going on in Raw, because we're really only focusing on the tournament match, and then obviously Undertaker is going to be there. But it was actually pretty interesting and entertaining to watch, because the matches were actually surprisingly really good.
Yeah. By the
But
way,
maybe
the
that's not
link.
necessarily that surprising, because there was a lot of talented wrestlers in those matches.
Yeah. By the way, did you get the link for the videos in the chat? Did you get that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. But yeah, that's what we said about this tournament is that it actually makes the entire 3 hours worth watching for once. And that's what's so intriguing about it. But I'm just really surprised that they have not added a traditional Survivor Series tag match or two now that some guys have been eliminated from the tournament, because there's only going to be 5 advertised matches on this card.
It
It's going
seems
to be,
pretty low for a
yeah,
pay per
it's going
view.
to be kind of hard to stretch out 5 matches over a full 3 hours. It doesn't seem like 5 matches is enough to cover 3 hours.
Yeah, I
Like,
was thinking that too, because when I was going to WWE.com to see if they added any matches, it was the same 5 matches. And I was like, am I missing something? Because like there literally isn't a lot of matches at all. Not that there's normally like 50, but 5 is pretty low.
yeah, well, normally before and we forgot to mention that, if you're wondering why we jump straight to Survivor Series, we've just had a very hectic schedule this week. Like Jamie was busy with school, I was busy doing some belated birthday celebration stuff and getting my Christmas together and all that. So we just did not have a chance to watch NXT, one of us this week. So we are not able to talk about that this week. So severely apologize to everybody. Hope nothing too interesting happened. And if it did, well, we can always go back and watch it and then just talk about 2 weeks in a row next week as far as NXT goes. But back to what we were saying about Survivor Series, has anything in your opinion changed as far as the way you see matches go? I mean, do your predictions line up still with what you said last week?
Yes, and back to what we were saying, like you were saying, I was about to say about how I don't see how they're going to be able to stretch 5 matches. Maybe they'll add in something, because you know how they are adding things at the last minute.
Yeah, it's just
And
really
no, pretty
annoying.
much predictions are the same though.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's really annoying for people like us who do these videos because we don't know what to predict, and then we go and do a review like, well, we didn't talk about this match because we didn't know what was gonna happen.
What also sucks about being a
And
wrestling fan too and making videos is you never know what's going to happen day to day, week to week. Because I could sit here and talk about Survivor Series, but they could completely change between now and tomorrow. Because you know how wrestling can change at any point. And it's also really impossible sometimes to want to plan videos, because you don't know what's going to happen every week. I can't say tomorrow I'm going to film a video about Raw, or I'm going to plan to do this video next week, because I don't know what's going to happen down the line.
right,
But
right.
what were
Well,
your predictions, or
I was gonna
like
say,
what
do
were
you
you going
want
to
to just
say?
quickly redo the predictions for anybody that missed last week or no?
Yeah, we could do that. You could start that off.
Okay, well, Starlet versus Paige. I freaking love the build for this. I think it's the best Divas Championship match build ever of all time. They were given the main event spot on Raw this past week, which really surprised me because you never ever see two Divas. The last time we saw two women wrestlers in a main event spot on a Monday Night Raw was Lita and Trish Stratus.
Which was,
So,
in other terms, a very long time ago.
yes. So I was really surprised. And I don't know how you feel about it, but Charlotte and Paige to me, like,
Make it
really,
interesting.
yeah, they really raised the bar here. And the promo gave me goosebumps. It felt like an NXT promo instead of a Monday Night Raw promo, and that's huge.
Yeah, and you never hear divas say things like that either. It's normally, girly, preppy, and non-interesting. But they've actually really made the storyline so interesting. I'm normally not into the divas, but I've actually been quite interested in it. And like we were saying about it actually being the main event, like you would think it would have been one of the guys or Undertaker or somebody, but I just thought that was great. And I thought Raw overall was pretty good too, but
Yeah. Well, what I was saying was about that feud. It's just it shows how strong that feud is, and I don't see it ending after one match. I totally see Paige getting at least one more match against Charlotte because it is so strong. So that makes me even more determined to go with Charlotte to retain. If they'd done something that didn't feel like they were going to stretch this feud out, then I might want to say Paige has a chance to take it just to throw everybody for a loop. But I'm still expecting Charlotte to retain the Divas title. What about you?
I definitely think that Charlotte will probably win because I don't like you were saying I'm probably just repeating everything, but like you said, I don't see it ending right then and there. I see the feud still going, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so then the next one would be the tag match, the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family.
Yay.
We all know that the brothers have to win here. I mean, the only way that they don't win is if Undertaker pulls his ultimate "I'm a legend, I'm a veteran, I know how the business works" thing. And he puts his foot down and says,
I'm gonna put
"I
over
want
Bray Wyatt and
Bray Wyatt and whoever the partner is." But I'm still predicting it to be Braun Strowman, even though it should be Luke Harper because of skill and the ability that he has to help carry a match. But
right.
I'm predicting it to be Braun Strowman in the match, and I'm predicting Brothers of Destruction to go over. And I'm just happy for Undertaker. I mean, I'm happy
Me too.
that this is happening. So,
too. He hasn't been at a Survivor Series in so long. It's been nice for him to actually be at one because every year it's kind of sad that we don't get to see him on, celebrating whatever year it happens to be that he's been wrestling. But what I was going to say is pretty much, I think all pretty much agreed on that last week. But yes, we think Kane and Undertaker win simply because it's just 25 years. But I could also see Bray Wyatt and whoever else will be in that match winning simply because you know how Taker is, always putting guys over, always willing to do anything to better another wrestler or the company. Like you're saying, he's an old school guy. So,
yeah, no
but
pun intended.
probably Kane and Taker. Should Bray Wyatt win? Probably. Does anybody want to see them go over? Probably not really, because it's really Undertaker's moment and it's really
I,
his day. It's his
taking
25 years.
taking out of the equation that you are literally the biggest Undertaker fan I think this world has ever seen. Logically, I think Undertaker is one of those people that everybody feels some form of a strong connection to if you are a wrestling fan. I think, objectively speaking, I think this would be a situation where if the Brothers of Destruction don't win, people would riot. Like, people would be really, really upset if Undertaker lost as a Survivor Series.
I can see that too because he's already lost at the other pay-per-view and if he were to lose tomorrow, he would have lost again. But like at the same time, it's like, it doesn't matter if Undertaker wins or loses. He's at this point in his career where it's not going to hurt him. It'll only better somebody
No.
else.
Yeah.
And people will of course want him to win, but it's just the fact that he's A, wrestling, and B, we just get to see him, period. So.
Right. But the thing we didn't talk about last week.
Or you know what I wanted to add? Because there's so many rumors and WrestleMania is still really far away. Maybe if Taker does lose, what if it sets up something, I don't know, Braun Strowman or something versus Undertaker? Because you know how those were one of the rumors, Braun Strowman versus Taker.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to speculate on. Is do you think that there's a possibility of it being some kind of unexpected or unwanted ending to try and throw a surprise into the mix for this match? Like
Maybe because we didn't expect Bray Wyatt to come out at the end of Hell in a Cell, and then that started a feud. And apparently before that, when Undertaker was in Mexico, that they were trying to, testing the waters of all of them facing, because Bray Wyatt and Taker faced before, but it was random. But now, it's kind of been setting up a feud. But it could possibly, that's why I could see maybe them losing, like Undertaker and Kane losing to set something else, or they could win and Bray Wyatt may want his revenge and send Braun Strowman to face him at not SummerSlam, at WrestleMania. But what were you gonna say? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say what I would like to see happen is, well, one of two things. One, WWE surprises us and they do give Undertaker and Kane two other partners, and it is a 4-on-4 the way it should have been. And the two guys are like Sting and Daniel Bryan. Or two, I want to see some kind of appearance from Sting, because I think that's still the one match, besides the John Cena match at WrestleMania, that's like the one match that people want to see Undertaker have. And it would make sense for Sting to appear at Survivor Series, because that's where he made his WWE debut as well. So it's in a way, obviously nowhere near the level of Undertaker, because nothing will ever be. But in a way, it's become, sorry folks, I'm just adjusting the body in the chair there. In a way, it's become Sting's pay-per-view too, in a way. So I would like to see, if they're going to have any interaction at all between Taker and Sting going into this coming year, I would like to see that maybe started.
Or some way to start to lean into a feud for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
To start something, whatever this outcome is, to start something for then. Because I think after, unless he makes an appearance in December, because we were saying even after WrestleMania, oh, he's not going to make any appearance, but then he started to make more. And then after Hell in a Cell, it said we probably wouldn't see him until WrestleMania. But unless we don't see him at all for the rest of this year and a little bit before WrestleMania, then maybe they'll set up something for WrestleMania, because I don't think he'll necessarily make an appearance in December, although there are rumors that he is, but I don't know how true that is.
Yeah,
and then I don't really see him being in the Rumble or really anything in January, but you never know, because he's been making a lot of appearances. So
that would be really interesting as something different for him to do. He hasn't been in the Rumble in a long time. For him to be in title contention going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, one more title run. Why not? People, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I mean, he doesn't really need it. But that would be very, very cool, though, to add one little run. Because when they were showing like 25 phenomenal facts about the Undertaker, and he's never gone in to a WrestleMania with a title. Maybe they could do something interesting with the Rumble, and then he goes and he, I don't know, wins or something, and then walks into WrestleMania and, continues to win, because that would kind of ruin the 21-1 if he lost. And then I don't know what you would do after that. But what were you saying?
And then something would happen to vacate the title after Mania or something. But
right, just to give him that extra special thing, going into WrestleMania with the title, could he possibly, lose it or?
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever.
That's a far stretch, though. But still, hopefully, obviously, after Survivor Series, it starts to lead into who could possibly be for Undertaker's opponent.
Yeah.
Because after December, it's not that far until WrestleMania, and that's when we start to build to it anyway.
The Rumble officially starts the road to WrestleMania, but in a way, Survivor Series kind of keeps it up as well. So it's whatever happens, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome to see Undertaker on his actual anniversary of the day he debuted. And we talked about it last week, the fact that we both have favorite wrestlers that managed to stay in this business for 25 years is really crazy. And they said it on Legends with JBL. I mean, nobody else could have done that character. I mean, people saw that character and they thought it was really, really awesome, but it's not going to last very long, because there's only so much you can do with it here.
And he took it and ran with it for 25 years.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Here, 25 years later, it's just as relevant now as it ever was.
Yep.
So,
And he was always able to stay on top regardless of the era or the year, or he was always able to evolve too.
yeah.
But do you want to add anything else?
No,
Or
I
we're
was just
talking about
I was gonna move on to the championship tournament. We said last week that the semifinal matches we predicted were the ones we got, so pat ourselves on the back for that. We got that right. We got Alberto Del Rio versus Roman Reigns as one. So I'm predicting Roman to go over there.
me too.
And then we have the other being the one I think that will be from
And
not
that
from
could be like a half and a half for that
yeah
one.
yeah
Okay.
it could go either way as far as who goes
Because
over.
like you were saying, it could be Kevin and Roman, and we don't. As much as I love Roman, we don't want it to be obvious that he's going to win. And you said hopefully he wins and has the title. We were talking about this last week, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, no, what I was getting ready to lead into was just on paper that semifinals match between Owens and Ambrose. I think from a pure, not from entertainment because that's going to be Undertaker, but from a pure bell to bell, like this is what I remember from stealing this show. That's going to be Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. That's going to be an amazing match.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. Either way, if they'll all be interesting matches, but hopefully they do something to spice it up so that it's not obvious that Roman
but
wins.
that's going to be an amazing match. I want to see Kevin Owens go over because I do think Roman versus Kevin is the best final, and I think Kevin winning the title would be so unexpected and so interesting and such the right thing to do versus what people expect. But I'm predicting Roman to beat whoever he faces just because.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roman, but hopefully that they don't do that. But so Roman will obviously win the tournament match, and then honestly, whoever he faces, I think it'll still be a good match though. Like if it's Dean or even if it's Kevin, or I still think it'll be really, really good regardless. And what I like about this tournament match though is there's so many talented people in it.
Yeah, and
they got a chance to shine a little bit,
Yeah, and I really like the match between Owens and Ambrose because whoever wins that match to become Roman's opponent in the finals match, it's really interesting either way. I mean, you could get behind either one of those guys, Owens or Ambrose.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with either one of them winning. I just think Owens is the more interesting choice because he's a more believable heel. If Dean is the one that wins and Dean is the one that has the heel around with Triple H, if that's the direction they go, it'll be good for Dean, but it'll feel a lot like what Seth did. It'll feel a lot like repeating history. Whereas with Kevin,
right,
it just makes sense because that's what Kevin's done his whole career is just go where the money is, and he's already known as a Triple H guy. And I don't know, I just think Kevin would be a better choice if you're not going to put the title on Roman Reigns. If you're going to put the title on Roman Reigns, then obviously it doesn't matter who wins the other semifinal match.
Sure. So if Dean wins, which will still kind of be interesting for both of them to face, but it also would be interesting for Kevin to face him too. But if it's Dean versus Roman, or regardless of who it is, Roman Reigns, which hopefully they do something different, but
yeah,
do anything.
Well, I think it's going to be intriguing no matter what, and because they've done a good job with this tournament. I just really, as much as I like Roman, I don't want Roman to win right now, just because that would be missing a golden opportunity to do what this tournament should do, and that's completely hit the reset button and go in a direction that nobody's expecting.
And Kevin's so good right now too.
Yeah, Kevin's good, Dean's good. You can't go wrong with either guy to put them in that position.
And then, what was the last match? Ziggler was in a match? Was that it?
No, well, Ziggler got eliminated from the tournament already, so he's not actually advertised for the card right now.
Not for the card? Are those all the matches?
Yeah, we covered everything.
Okay. Well, I guess we could kind of go to SmackDown. The only thing that really happened was that The Undertaker, he wasn't on SmackDown. He was on the Titantron. And can I say that the promo was absolutely chilling and fantastic and pretty much finalizing their feud for Survivor Series. But if you guys haven't seen it, it was absolutely great to actually see Undertaker on a SmackDown. It wasn't like in the ring, but he was on the Titantron. It was actually really, really nice because he's normally does special SmackDown appearances in like UK and stuff. But that's all you really miss from SmackDown, and you can just look up that promo. So.
Right. Well, and it's also kind of cool because when they did the brand split, SmackDown was basically Undertaker's brand. So It's kind of cool to see him back on that show for that reason as well. So,
and that's the only reason I tuned in. I actually tuned in twice in a row because The Undertaker's on it. But after that, I'm not watching SmackDown.
That's why there's only one Undertaker.
Yep.
So, but I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, it's one of those things where because of this tournament, we can't really have super long shows until we know how this whole thing plays out.
Right, because that really just the whole Raw just really played around that, and also Taker. But
yeah,
right, we won't really know anything until the pay-per-view. And then we can talk about more next week. But I'm going to film my reaction to Survivor Series and The Undertaker. I'm sure Raz and I will probably film something on Monday or some point about.
By the time she gets off of work, I will have seen Survivor Series.
So. Right. So we'll probably talk about something along those lines, a little like blurb about it. And then also, No Turning Back, we'll have a lot to talk about on next Saturday.
I did want to mention real quick for the people that are subscribed to me and do like my Blu-ray and DVD updates that I do. I haven't been able to do anything in a while because I haven't been able to get anything new, but I did have Amazon gift card balance, and I got a really awesome set coming for you guys tomorrow that's going to be uploaded. I got the complete series of Friends. So if you guys want to go over and check that out, that video will be up tomorrow. And of course, you got to check out 25 Years of Undertaker from this one here.
Yeah.
So.
And can we just mention, I love Undertaker Week. Like, they've shown a lot of, no pun intended, but a lot of phenomenal things on.
Oh, yeah. Especially Undertaker's Greatest Matches. I love that. That's the one you haven't seen yet. You need to see it.
I was pretty much up to date. I just had schoolwork to do. But anyways, I also really like the panel of all the wrestlers, like Stone Cold and HBK talking about The Undertaker. Yeah, I always like to hear people
Stone Cold, HBK, JBL, and Triple H. That was a great panel there. So.
Yep. So before I end it, if you want to send in last minute stuff for the video, I'll put everything in the description. No Turning Back, all our episodes, where to send your stuff. All our social medias, Raz and mine, and anything else you want to know is in the description. So anything else before I end the video?
No, I think we went longer than we expected to go, but that's not really a surprise because you get the two of us together, we say, oh, there's nothing to talk about, but because it's wrestling, we always find something to talk about.
And especially because it's Undertaker Week and Undertaker, and I could talk about for hours. And anyway, talking about wrestling, we could talk about the ring for like an hour, and we would find something to talk about. So, all right. So make sure you comment down below, and we will see you next week or even Monday. Bye.
Peace out.